Welcome to the deep dive. We're here, as always, to pull the most important insights from interesting source material and deliver them straight to you.
Yeah, making it actionable.
Exactly. So today, we're diving deep into the Resilience Roadmap. Now, this is a guide, it seems, designed for pretty much anyone striving for something more, ambitious dreamers, professionals, parents juggling chaos.
Right. And our mission here is, well, pretty straightforward. We want to distill those daily, practical strategies you need for building genuine mental toughness.
Getting to the core stuff.
Basically, yeah, giving you the key knowledge to build what the source calls unstoppable momentum. We're aiming to cut through the noise.
Okay, so let's start right there. Resilience. The source seems quite specific about the definition. We often think bounce back, right? But this sounds that different, more active.
It really is. That's a great point. It's less about just weathering the storm and more about actually using the wind, if that makes sense.
Okay, like transforming it.
Precisely. The source defines it as this profound inner strength. Maybe think of it as a skill set, actually. One that turns those inevitable setbacks not just into recovery points, but into actual stepping stones for growth.
Stepping stones. I like that.
Yeah. It's really the capacity to cope with stress, anxiety, doubt, all that stuff.
Yeah.
By actively fueling your own growth and holding on to that, unshakable belief that you can succeed.
Okay, so if it's a skill set, like you said, it must have a foundation. What does the roadmap say we need to build this? What are the core components?
Right. The source lays out this framework. Think of it as 4 key pillars holding up this structure of resilience, but mental toughness, really.
4 pillars. Okay, what's the first one?
First is mindfulness. This is all about staying present, staying focused. So when an obstacle, pops up, this pillar helps you respond with clarity, poise even.
Instead of just reacting.
Exactly. Instead of reacting out of panic or impulse.
That sounds immediately challenging. In today's world, staying present.
Oh, absolutely. It's tough, which actually leads us right into the second pillar, self-discipline and habit formation.
Ah, the practical side.
Yeah, this is kind of the mechanics of resilience. It's about setting up consistent, constructive, daily practices. These become your anchors when things get, chaotic or unpredictable.
Right, things to hold on to. And the third pillar, I imagine this tackles the inner voice, that critic.
You got it. The third is all about positive affirmations and overcoming self-doubt. This is where you actively work on your internal dialogue.
Changing how you talk to yourself.
Consciously, yeah. Replacing those, those limiting beliefs we all have with thoughts that actually empower you, push you towards action.
Okay. Mindfulness, habits, self-talk. What's the fourth? The roadmap doesn't just keep it mental, does it?
No, definitely not. It's very clear on this. The fourth pillar is physical fitness.
The mind-body connection.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The source really stresses that synergy. Regular physical activity gives you a literal physiological way to manage stress, reinforce mental toughness, and build that crucial emotional resilience.
Okay, let's dig into those first two a bit more. Starting with that mental clarity piece. Mindfulness. The roadmap mentions techniques for stress. What's something really practical, something someone can use, like right now, especially if they feel they don't have time for a long meditation?
Yeah, good question. Efficiency is key. The source highlights breathing exercises because they directly tap into your nervous system. Specifically, it details the 4-7-8 technique.
Okay, 4-7-8. How does that work?
It's super simple, actually. You just inhale quietly through your nose for a count of 4, then you hold your breath for a count of 7, and then you exhale completely through your mouth, making a whoosh sound for a count of 8.
4 in, hold 7, 8 out. Why those specific numbers? That 7-second hold seems long. Does that do something specific?
It does. The mechanism is really the key here. That longer hold, and especially the much longer exhale, it sends a signal to your body. Basically tells it, hey, you're safe.
Oh.
It actively shifts your nervous system out of that fight or flight mode, the sympathetic response, and into the rest and digest mode, the parasympathetic. So you're using your breath to physically kind of hijack your stress response, force calm.
Wow. Okay, so it's not just thinking calm thoughts, it's a physical shift.
Exactly. A physiological reset.
Yes, powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, now connecting that awareness, that calm, to our internal words, the self-talk pillar. We hear about positive self-talk, but, sometimes it feels a bit forced, like toxic positivity. If you're facing a huge deadline or you just failed at something, repeating, I am successful, can feel, fake, almost demoralizing. Does the roadmap address that?
That's such a critical point. And yes, the source is very clear.
Yeah.
Affirmations aren't about denying reality. They're not meant to be like stating something false.
Okay, so what are they then?
Effective affirmations are more like statements of intention and belief
Yeah.
about your capability, your focus, your commitment.
Could you give an example? Something that avoids that trap.
Sure. So instead of maybe I have unlimited wealth, when your bank account says otherwise,
Right.
a more resilient affirmation focuses on processing capability. The source suggests something like, I am capable of achieving my goals, and I commit to focusing on the essential task in front of me today. See the difference?
Yeah, it's about determination and focus, the doing, not just wishing for the outcome.
Exactly. It reinforces the mindset of the person you need to be while facing the challenge, not pretending the challenge isn't there.
That makes more sense.
And consistency here is everything. The source really hammers this home, integrating this, maybe just 3 specific statements, into your morning routine. That's vital. It reinforces that new, resilient narrative before the day throws its punches.
Right. Setting the stage internally. Okay, so we've got inner clarity, reinforced self-belief. The next step on the roadmap seems to be structure, turning that inner stuff into actual momentum. That must be where self-discipline and habits kick in.
This is exactly where we move from, let's say, the internal work to the external mechanics. And the source uses the habit loop framework. You've probably heard of it. Cue, routine, reward.
Cue, routine, reward.
Right. It's the basic blueprint for engineering self-discipline. We're not just talking about breaking bad habits, but intentionally designing resilient ones.
Okay, let's focus on the tricky part there. The reward. When you're stressed, the immediate reward for something like, I don't know, doom scrolling or stress eating, it's instant relief, right? So how does a new resilient routine compete with that immediate gratification?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? That short-term reward, that temporary escape from anxiety.
Yeah.
That's precisely why those less helpful routines are so sticky.
So addictive, yeah.
To break that cycle, you have to consciously redesign the routine so it delivers a better long-term psychological reward. And that reward, according to the source, is self-efficacy.
Self-efficacy.
Yeah.
The belief in your own ability to handle things.
Exactly. Your belief in your competence. Let's take an example. Q. A stressful email lands in your inbox.
Okay, happens all the time.
The non-resilient routine might be, quick, open social media for 10 minutes, reward, instant distraction, temporary relief.
Okay, yep, certainly.
Now, the resilient routine could be, okay, use the 4-7-8 breathing for just 2 minutes, then write down the single most important action needed for this email.
And the reward there, it's not instant relief.
No. The reward is a feeling of control and competence. You dealt with it. You feel capable, not reactive. And that feeling, that sense of self-efficacy, over time it becomes way more powerful, a much stronger driver than just temporary distraction.
Huh. So you're trading cheap, instant relief for a deeper sense of capability.
That's the goal. And the source points to the morning as the prime time to install these new mechanisms. Why the morning routine? What makes it so powerful for resilience? Well, think about it. It sets the tone. It gives you a foundation of control before the outside world starts, throwing curveballs.
Regardless of what the day holds.
Exactly. Whether you're a parent rushing kids out the door or an entrepreneur prepping a huge pitch, there's always morning chaos, right? But having even just 15 minutes of structure, quiet time, journaling, maybe some movement, it builds this small personal sphere of predictability.
Like an anchor for the day.
Precisely. It stops you from starting the day reactively,
Yeah.
and you carry that little bit of control with you.
Okay, that makes sense. So building on that daily structure, let's zoom out to the longer-term roadmap. Goal setting. The source really emphasizes the SMART goal framework. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. We know the acronym, but how does using SMART goals specifically boost mental toughness?
Great question. The biggest boost, I think, comes from the M measurable and the A achievable parts.
Measurable and achievable. Why those two?
Because they directly fight self-doubt and build momentum. If your goal is too vague, like get better at my job, or too huge, like become CEO tomorrow, failure feels almost built in. You lose steam fast.
Okay, so give us a practical SMART goal example that builds resilience.
All right. Instead of something vague like improve team communication.
Which is impossible to measure.
Right. A SMART goal might be, I will conduct 2 pre-scheduled 15-minute one-on-one check-ins with my 2 key team members every single week for the next 4 weeks.
Very specific, very measurable.
And that measurability is gold because it lets you celebrate small wins every successful check-in. That reinforces your belief, hey, I can do this. It keeps the momentum going. It stops the whole thing feeling overwhelming.
So it reframes goals, not just one big finish line way off in the distance, but a series of small victories that build you up along the way.
Exactly. Building resilience step by step. And the source adds one more thing here. Before you even start step one, visualize.
Visualization. Okay, is this just daydreaming?
No, it's more focused. The source says you need to engage all your senses. What does success actually feel like? What does it look like, sound like, even smell like maybe? You're creating this sensory mental blueprint.
Making it real in your mind first.
Yes, it solidifies the goal,
Yeah.
makes it feel tangible, and that reinforces your determination, gives you something to pull on when you inevitably hit a snag. It's like mentally rehearsing success.
Got it. Okay, so we've covered the inner game, the structure. Now that fourth pillar, the mind-body connection. The roadmap really stresses this synergy. So beyond just, feeling generally better, what's the specific resilience benefit of physical activity?
This is, I think, profoundly important. Physical activity gives you a safe space to practice recovering from controlled stress.
Practice recovery. How?
Well, when you exercise, especially intensely, what happens? Your heart rate goes up, your breathing changes, your body releases cortisol. It mimics a stress response.
Yeah, it feels stressful
Yeah.
sometimes.
But because you initiated it and you consciously manage your breath, focus on your movement, and then recover afterwards, you are actively training your body, your nervous system, to return to a calm baseline more effectively.
So it's like grills for your nervous system using movement.
Precisely.
Mm.
You're literally building mental and emotional resilience by giving your body practice runs at handling stress and regulating itself successfully. The endorphins, the mood boost, that's great. That's part of it. But this practice of regulation, that's the deeper resilience skill.
That's fascinating. Okay, so for our listeners who are likely very busy people, how do we make this fitness pillar sustainable so it doesn't just become another stressor on the to-do list?
Yeah, sustainability is key. The roadmap says, be realistic. You don't need to train for a marathon tomorrow. Find activities you actually enjoy. A 20-minute walk where you focus on your breathing, dancing in your kitchen, whatever works.
Make it enjoyable, not a chore.
Right. And ideally, pair the movement with mindfulness.
Yeah.
Focus on your breath, the feeling of your feet hitting the ground, whatever. The discipline you build just by sticking to that small, enjoyable routine, it really does translate powerfully to other areas. It builds that I can stick with things muscle.
Okay. And one final point the source makes before you can manage stress effectively with all these tools.
You need to know what you're managing. Yes. Identifying your specific stress triggers is fundamental.
How do you do that? Just pay attention.
Self-reflection helps. Maybe keep a simple journal for a week. When did I feel stressed? What just happened right before? Knowing what typically throws you off balance allows you to consciously choose a resilient routine like the 4-7-8 breath instead of just blindly reacting when it hits.
Know your triggers, then deploy the strategy. Makes sense. Wow, okay. That was an incredibly practical deep dive into this resilience roadmap. So, quick summary. Resilience isn't just something you have or don't have. It's built daily through these 4 pillars. Mindfulness for clarity.
Self-discipline, powered by habits and those SMART goals.
Positive affirmations to rewire that self-talk.
And physical fortitude, training your nervous system through movement.
Got it.
And, connecting it all back.
Yeah.
It's crucial to remember, as the source points out, this is a personal journey, yes, but it's not meant to be a solitary one.
Community.
Exactly. Community, mentorship. Having support is huge. Collective resilience, drawing strength from others, supporting them back. That's really key for sustaining growth, especially when you hit those big moments of self-doubt. We don't build this strength entirely alone.
That collective strength, that's a powerful idea. And the source actually ends on that note, doesn't it? Saying that by sharing your journey, the struggles and the wins, you actually inspire others. You model resilience. It creates this ripple effect.
It really does.
So here's a final thought for you, our listener, to take away. As you start building this mental toughness using these tools, how might you leverage your growing resilience and maybe the structures you're creating, not just for your own big goals, but to maybe strengthen the collective resilience, the confidence of your team at work, your family, your community? Something to think about.